Area 2 would reveal different chord forms for playing over the A minor, D minor vamp. Let's look at what they will be. Using the EDCAG system, you would have to use a D minor form to play an A minor in the 7th position. Do you see why we call it a D minor form? Because it's as if you're capoing in the 7th fret and you have your D minor fingering, which occurs down here. You may play that with different fingerings, but the point is, that's it. And then, for the D minor chord, we're going to have to use a G minor form. This is a bit of an awkward form. And I don't want you to worry if you can't get it clear, because you're not going to use this whole form, especially in rhythm work. You'll use portions of it. I call this the G minor form because you see how this would be a G major form. If I need to play a D chord in this position, well, we need those flatted thirds, so we end up with this form. All this stuff is diagrammed out for you. And we're not going to play using the entire block forms against the track because this D minor is so cumbersome. We'll just use portions of it. Now, if you can't see these forms, go back to your arpeggios. You know how to form the arpeggios. The previous lesson I spent a lot of time explaining this. You've got to find all of the chord tones, which means if you just look at the chord form, there are going to be some spots where you have to add another note on a string. It turns out that we only have one case of that. You'll have to add the C, the flatted third, and you can see the octave of it right here, over there in the 10th fret of the 4th string. Otherwise, it's just the chord form. Flatted third, 5th, root. Flatted third, 5th, root, flatted third. Real good chord form, and it's a good workout for the weak side of your hand, your 3rd and your 4th fingers. You can finger it with those other fingers, but I suggest you just stay in position. For the D minor chord, you're going to stay right with the chord form, D, F, A, D, and then you've got 2 notes on the 3rd string. When you played the chord form, you were grabbing the flatted third over there on the 3rd string, the F. You'll need to include this D. So here's your arpeggio. 1, flatted third, 5th. 1, flatted third, 5th, 1. We've got this roll, 3 string. You might try some different fingerings. And there's some other options I'm not going to go into now. You could move one of the notes over to another string. But anyway, the point is, you see these chord forms. Quickly, you would have the A minor. And then you remember what we talked about. When you're moving from the A minor to the D minor, the A note is constant, the E goes up to F, the C goes up to D, so that, again, holds true. I mean, it's going to, no matter where you are. So in this case, the top 3 strings are the only place where you're going to see a real obvious move like that. Because of the way our chord voicings are, you've got different voicings going on, so you won't see the same voice leading, is what I'm trying to drive at. Let's play against the track just using these chord forms. Do you see what I did right there? When I played the A minor, I've got root, 5th, root, so it's just a power chord. I know that the A's are constant, right? Between the A minor and the D minor chord, but I know that the E goes up to an F. That gives me those common tones. In that case, do you see what I did? I moved the E up to the F, and I also moved the C up to the D. I'm hyperextending my 4th finger. Now, this is getting pretty technical, but I just want you to see these moves. Let's look at the add 9s, minor add 9s on this. Again, on both the A minor and the D minor, we can include the 9th. We've already talked about how you would find it. So quickly, I have for the A minor, I have to add the B note, of which there are 3 in this position. I find those 3 Bs. That helps reinforce my knowledge and visualization of octaves. I know that those are going to move up because that's a 2 to flat 3 move for that A minor chord. I'm not going to play on the D minor just so you can hear this. Now here's the whole arpeggio. Coming back down. Let's look at the D minor. Here's the chord form. Here's your arpeggio. I know I need to add an E. There are two of them in this position. Adding those in the arpeggio, I have root, second, flatted, third, fifth, root, second, flatted, third, fifth, root. Play against the track. This time I'll just play on the D minor. Okay, let's put them both into practice. A minor add 9. D minor add 9. You see how effective that minor add 9 arpeggio is? It's just good melody. So get solid with those. Let's look at the minor pentatonic scales. In this position, anytime you're playing over the D minor form out of your EDCAG system, you will have the 4th string root minor pentatonic scale. So you want to learn that and associate it very well, and learn it in double stops, the whole thing. Learn how to take a... See what I'm doing? I'm just using the minor pentatonic scale with the chord form. For the G minor form, you will always have the 3rd string root minor pentatonic scale. And remember, there's only one note change. That is the E goes to F. So in this position, you have 2 E's. They will go up to 2 F's. Watch this. There's a perfect example of how I'm taking a lick for the A minor chord and just changing that one note to make it fit the D minor. Again. See the E to the F move? And then our final approach will be using the entire mode. Here we have the key of C, because remember theoretically we're in the key of C. So in this position you'll be using scale form 7. So named because the 7th is the lowest available tone. You have all these other tones available. But I'm going to demonstrate poor playing just using the scale. Doesn't sound very strong, does it? Well, that's because I'm not even thinking about using the arpeggios and the chord tones. I just demonstrated how you may sound sometimes. Hopefully you don't want to sound that way, and you can hear the difference. So get solid on these arpeggios. Again, go back, learn the triads, just the root, flatted third, and fifths. Add the 9s in there, then look at your minor pentatonic scales. And then when you start looking at the entire scale superimposed on top of it, you won't end up sounding weak in your soloing.